Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and today we're heading over to Europe and to the Red Bull Ring for what is normally a difficult race because of the weather. Before we do that, I'm just going to dive into the options and check to make sure that we're on the hard racing difficulty. That's the setting that we're using for all of these races now. If we head back to the Red Bull Ring, we're going to be doing the World Touring Car 700. I'm going to choose my favourite BMW VGT and I've got the soft tyres on, and the adjustments that we're going to need to make is the output adjustment of 95, the ballast of 200 and the power restrictor of 94. That's purely to get the performance points below 700. When we're happy, we can go into the race, and this is the World Touring Car 700, the Red Bull Ring, 10 laps from the back of the grid to the front. Now I'm going to go with the power setting set to 6 for this one. I'm going to go full lean because we want to get right the way through this race without stopping. Now some of you are going to be screaming at me saying, but I've been running this, I'm getting weather, I'm going to need to stop for intermediate or wet tyres, therefore this race strategy is never going to work. Correct. However, there seems to be an anomaly in the game at this point at least, where the first time I ran this race I had horrendous weather and I couldn't even keep the car going in a straight line on slick tyres. The second time I ran it I hit weather which wasn't quite so bad. The third time I ran it the weather wasn't as bad. This is my 4th run of this particular race where I got gold. You look at the weather as we go through. My prediction is the same as Fuji with the Super Formula. The more that you run this race, the better the weather gets, to the point where, well, you have a look and see what happens in this particular race. So I've gone full lean because we're not going to stop. I've gone racing soft tyres, which are going to quite easily get us to the end of this race. And for now, as we come up to finish the first lap, all I want to do is really stay with the pack and try and stay within about 20-25 seconds of the leader. Because if they pit for once or twice, then we're going to make up that time by not pitting ourselves. So we got 10 laps. I will pick up on the braking points and turning points, etc. in just a moment, but I really wanted to get out of the way the strategy that I imposed for this particular race, and the fact that the weather gets better the more that you play. And clearly you mustn't turn off your PS5 or PS4 between races, just do them one after the other. And if your system is working the same as mine, there's no reason why it shouldn't. You will probably find that the weather will improve the more times that you actually run this particular race. There are some clear overtaking opportunities, so we just threw it down the inside of the Aston Martin there. The Aston Martin will very often come back at us because they're clearly running a higher fuel map setting than we are. Remember, we're fully leaned off, so the performance is down about as low as it can be. So at this point on lap 2, all we're really trying to do is to get past the Aston Martin, get onto the pack in front and just stay with the cars. And you'll notice that the first place car is a country mile out in front. Don't worry about that one at all. That's almost definitely going to be a 2-stopper, I would think. So as we come up for the first of the laps, we're heading towards this first corner, which is really tight, and I'm tending to brake on the white line with the 100-meter board. Bury the brakes, get it down into second gear for engine braking and rotation, up into third as quickly as we can so you don't get that little bit of oversteer, and then run up through the gears, trying to streamline the car in front, the Ferrari in this instance, right the way to this corner, which is another super tight one. So again, looking for that white line on the right hand side with a 100-meter board. I don't like taking too much of that corner. The yellow sausage curve really does upset the car, so I tend to just give that curve a little bit of respect, and again try and just get on the back of one of these cars to slipstream them, just to try and make the most of the performance that we have got in the car. You have got to get through, well, I felt that I needed to get through the traffic really quickly, so I am taking some fairly audacious moves, banging doors, banging bumpers, just forcing my way through some of these cars. If you're planning on racing online, please don't do that, because it will not go down well, but racing against the AI, you can. So opening the doors where you can. Obviously, I'll leave you to rewind the video so you can see some of my gears and braking points where I'm not covering every single corner, but we will get back to that topic in just a moment. Fourth gear through here, and I've got the weather radar on at the moment because I want to see that weather coming in and just gauge whether it is very wet or just acceptable. If you've got that little turquoisey colour where it isn't too blue or yellow, just that basic turquoise colour, you can pretty much run on slicks so long as you are careful. And you'll notice that the tyres at lap 4 are very, very little worn. There's not a lot of wear on there at all, which gives me a very good feeling that we can lean on these tyres and basically get them to the end of the race. The G70 was the bane of my life through this race. Every time I overtook, he tended to come back at me. No point getting into fights with cars in this particular race. This is all about strategy, so just let them go. Use the slipstream to try and pull yourself through this race as quickly as you can. Making overtakes where you can, but you'll see I've overtaken, gone a little bit deep, and he's immediately come back at me, so that really was a little bit pointless. I'd have been better off just staying behind. For this corner, the white mark again in the road there is where I'm braking down into third gear. You can carry a lot of speed through here, and I'm looking for the end of the curb and where you've got that little grey runoff area to the right hand side is where I'm braking down into third gear, using loads of the curb and then just getting back on the GTO. So as we come round to finish the lap in third, fourth gear, just for balancing there, let me see if I can just take you through my braking points and the gears. This is going to be very, very quick. It's a very, very short lap. So slipstreaming the Lexus in front means we can't see our braking point very well. So I'm looking for the 100-meter board, and in particular the white line that sticks out. Bury the brake pedal down into second gear, up into third as you go across the corner. I held second on that one because of the cars around me, but normally up into third. Up through the gears as we run down into this next corner. Normally I prefer to be over on the left hand side, but with slipstreaming the Mitsubishi in front, staying with the Mustang. Looking for the 100-meter board with that white line again. Again down into second gear for engine braking and turning. Up into third as soon as possible. Be careful of the sausage curb. And then again up through the gears, slipstreaming cars as much as you can. For this particular corner, again, I'm looking for the 100-meter board. There is another white line sticking out right there. Bury the brake pedal, third gear, take a fair amount of curb, but being really careful not to go too deep on that one. Otherwise, you will end up in the gravel. This is flat through this little right-hander, and then I'm looking for the 50-meter board with the white line down into third. Get it out to the right, and you're looking for the end of this green strip. So brake now into third. Use loads of the curb. I've actually got the G70 in the way at the moment, so I can't really take my normal lines, but normally take loads of curb. Up through the gears, and again with this one we're looking for the 100-meter board with that white line on the brake, just feathering it a little bit, lighter braking through there. The G70 dives in the pits, the Subaru we bang doors to get through, third gear through the last corner. Use loads of that curb and the dip. The car almost feels like it's going to bottom out, but you'll be fine and get through that corner. And now we're up into 8th place, 21 seconds away from the leader. So with this strategy, it's not pitting and it's slipstreaming. You've really got to try and slipstream these cars as best as you can to try and get the performance. As you can see, they're all going away from me at the moment, but we will close up on the braking. 100-meter board with the white line, second gear for engine braking, up into third before the corner, being careful not to spin it around. And I've actually spun. That's not good. We spun on lap 6. Now I'm going to carry on and we still get gold. So even though I've spun and let those two cars go through, we can still win this race. So this is a spin and win race, even on the hard settings. Looking at the tyres are still really good. We're in 10th place at the moment. We've dropped to 30 seconds behind the leader. So we are making our life a little bit more difficult with that spin. But I've left that in, well, basically to show that I am not a great racer. I'm average at best. But even with a spin, you can still get gold on this particular race using this car with this setup and this strategy. Looking at the weather right now, we're sitting between two banks of weather. Not liking the look of the one on the right hand side with that big blue area. The turquoisey area, we're not too bad. I'm not worried about that so much. But otherwise, just continuing to push on in the same vein. Now you've noticed that we've already had a number of cars pitting. That's going to promote us up into 3rd, 4th place at the moment. I thought I was going to get 3rd there, but it looks like we're in 4th place because Yamanaka, who was the leader, has actually come out just in front of us. If I hadn't have spun, we would now be in front of Yamanaka. But don't worry too much. That's a very quick Supra on full beans settings. I think it must be on power level 1. Pretty sure that he is going to stop again towards the end of the race. So at the moment, for me, I'm actually pacing myself on Yamanaka rather than Kokuban and Gallo, assuming I'm pronouncing those names correctly. But it's Yamanaka that I really want to try and stay with. So closing up under braking, gone a little bit deep into that corner, almost into the gravel. Watching the weather at the moment, the big blue area is clearing away, the nasty blue area is clearing away on the right hand side, and we've got quite a lot of turquoise weather coming in. So we should, with a little bit of care, be able to drive through that turquoise wet weather if the rain comes. But at the moment, we got through to lap 7, and other than my silly spin, we've really had no worries with regards to the weather. I'm just checking the power settings now just to make sure that we have got enough fuel to get us to the end of the race. Opportunity to overtake Yamanaka there, which I took, which then promotes us into 1st place because the other 2 cars have also pitted. If, as we start lap 8, we can stay ahead of Yamanaka, then that will be absolutely brilliant. So that's my main emphasis now. I was hoping that we might be able to drop the power level down a little bit to keep us ahead of Yamanaka, but with basically 3 laps to run and 3.7 laps of fuel, I was not too keen on reducing the power level back. I really didn't want to run out of fuel because that would really give this away. So Yamanaka led him through, tried to get a good exit on that corner so we can pick up a slipstream, and now I just really want to stay with him. He's pulling away ever so slightly down this straight, but hopefully we'll be able to close up under braking and maybe overtake him, or at least stay with him. It's getting darker and darker and darker. The weather is looking more and more ominous at the moment, but for the minute, this no stop strategy on the racing soft tyres are working for us at the moment. Very little wear on the tyres. An opportunity to overtake the Supra, we've taken that. You need to take those opportunities, every opportunity that you get. Now can we stay ahead? I've actually moved the power setting down to 5 now, just to give me a little bit of performance on the Supra. We've got 3 laps of fuel in the tank with basically 2 laps to run, so that is giving me a little bit more of a comfort feeling to reduce that power level. We may well even reduce it back down to 4 in a short while, but at power level 5 we are actually able to pull away, and we are now out of the slipstream of the Supra behind, although it is catching us fairly quickly down this straight. It's a very quick car, that Supra. So watching for our braking zone here on the 100-meter board, bury the brake pedal, down into 2nd gear, get it rotated up into 3rd. Gone a little bit wide there. If you do go wide, just pick this little bit of Astro just at the end of the sausage curb there to get back onto the track. I found that was a nice place to rejoin. No penalty, thankfully. Braking on the 100-meter board, down into 3rd gear. Got a a little bit deep there, didn't hit the apex, but managed to get that rotated. Moved the fuel map level to 4 now, which is managing to bring us further away from Yamanaka in second. So 2 seconds now, which is rather nice. Looking for the end of this green area, braking down into third normally. I did actually do fourth there. I was experimenting between third and fourth gear. I tended to find third was really good when you're in traffic. 4 is okay when you've got a clear track. Again, braking into this corner, just third gear, got a little bit wide as we got up into fourth gear, down into third for this one, looking for the bounce on the inside of the curb, and then up through the gears as quickly as we can. We've actually pushed the gap out to 3 seconds now, and Yamanaka is pitting for his second stop, as I suspected might happen, and that is now going to give us a reasonably decent margin to the car behind. Just waiting to see the distances refresh. At the moment we've still got Yamanaka showing in second, so we're now 23 seconds ahead of the second place runner. So now I'm actually moved the fuel map right the way out to lean, so the car is now back to the dynamics that I had when I first started the race. The light is getting really bad, the track is getting just either the track's getting a little bit slippery, or I'm losing temperature in the tyres, because the car at this point was sliding around a little bit. So I was just taking it a little bit more cautiously into the corners, moving my braking back just by a few yards, just being very careful about how we're getting the power down, and just keeping it on the island as it were right now. 22.5 seconds ahead. There is absolutely no point in monstering every single corner and pushing the car to the absolute limit. This is all just about these last 2 corners and bringing this home for what is a very, very, very easy win at a race that I know a lot of you are having trouble in, and I was having trouble in with the weather. And you'll notice there, 0 rain, no rain whatsoever, and I think that was the 4th attempt at that particular race. So I ran through the others completely, just bringing it in 20th position. So we've got the fastest lap. We've got our gold trophy, a nice 115,000 credits. We don't get clean race bonus because there was a little bit of argy-bargy getting through the traffic at the beginning of the race. But that is how I get gold at the Red Bull Ring, the World Touring Car 700, a race that quite a few people have problems in, as did I, as I mentioned a moment ago. But this is a strategy that works really well for me. So run the race 2, 3, 4 times and see if the weather gets better at each race, and then use this particular strategy, and I think you will be fine. So I hope that you like this video. If you do, please hit the like button, and if you're new around here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really does help the channel. And if you're back for more and a current subscriber, thank you ever so much for continuing to support my channel. It's greatly appreciated. For now, take care, and I'll see you on another video coming very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.